And tonight, as we await President Obama's decision on Syria, the world is still reeling from the graphic video of the victims that was shot in the immediate aftermath of last week's chemical weapons attack. Now, yesterday, Secretary of State John Kerry delivered a forceful statement condemning the Assad regime's actions as, quote, moral obscenity, and while his tone was appropriately somber given the atrocities that were carried out by one of the world's most brutal dictators, I frankly could not help but notice that it was eerily similar to words that were spoken by Kerry decades ago. However, back in 1971, he wasn't talking about Assad. He was talking about the brave Americans who were fighting in the Vietnam War. Take a look at this disturbing comparison.
The indiscriminate slaughter of civilians, the killing of women and children and innocent bystanders by chemical weapons is a moral obscenity.
They relived the absolute horror of what this country, in a sense, made them do.
By any standard, it is inexcusable, and despite the excuses and equivocations that some have manufactured, it is undeniable.
They told the stories of times that they had personally raped, cut off ears, cut off heads.
I can't get the image out of my head of a man who held up his dead child, wailing while chaos swirled around him.
Cut off limbs, blown up bodies, randomly shot at civilians.
The images of entire families dead in their beds without a drop of blood or even a visible wound. Bodies contorting in spasms. Human suffering that we can never ignore or forget.
Razed villages in a fashion reminiscent of Genghis Khan, shot cattle and dogs for fun.
Our sense of basic humanity is offended not only by this cowardly crime, but also by the cynical attempt to cover it up.
Poisoned food stocks and generally ravaged the countryside of South Vietnam, in addition to the normal ravage of war.
There must be accountability for those who would use the world's most heinous weapons against the world's most vulnerable people.